Welcome to the final match of the night. Between Perth Longobarda and FutScarbs FC. A game that really could go either way. Both sides full of talent. Perth Longobarda coming off, I think, 4 consecutive losses, but they played pretty much the 4 highest ranked sides in the competition. FutScarbs in a 4-game unbeaten run after getting defeated by the Northern Hawks in round 1. So plenty to play for here. A win is needed for both sides if they want to stay in contention of the finals placings. It will be Andre Duna, Leo Ferreira, Fernando Rosende, and Kennet Andesson for FutScarbs. And for Longobarda, looks like it will be Hezari Sharazan, Angelo DeMarco, Bruno Di Gregorio, and the last player yet to be decided. So they settle on Morteza Ali Deuced in the end. FutScarbs to take kickoff. Anderson, Ferreira, Rosende. Ball over the top. FutScarbs looking for the quick start. Sideline ball. Rosende brings it onto his left. And it's an early goal! Fernando Rosende. A lovely finish beyond Raheem, who was left unsided. And just like the last match, a goal inside the opening minute. The Brazilians off to the perfect start. Deuced. And that one was out, so Anderson's breakaway put to a halt. And leave some score predictions in the comments. I'm expecting another really good matchup, just like the last game. That one through to Raheem Di Gregorio. Sharazan down the line for Morteza Deuced, who is a former Murdoch Warrior and Spearwood Lion. Toe pokes off the right, block behind. Di Gregorio, who scored last week, trying to find the back of the net once again. Here's Angelo DeMarco. Di Gregorio, Deuced. And Deuced ball across the court, a poor one. Kennet Andesson has been the one to watch for FutScarbs this season, and here he is now. Andesson, toe poke, just trickling past the back post. Such deceptive feet, Kennet Andesson. Ball sticks to him like it's on a string. And the early substitution for makeshift captain Yusuf Barian on for Longobarda. It's Ferreira, Rosende, Duna, back to Rosende. And the ball lofted forward. Anderson just heads that one into touch. Back to Di Gregorio. Yusuf Barian. Di Gregorio once again. Here's DeMarco. And the ball from Di Gregorio looking through for Angelo DeMarco. Sharazan brings it forward. Stopped by Rosende, who toes it on, and Rosende's gone down injured. So Jonathan Silas brings play to a halt. And the referee's whistle goes. Rosende, Duna, tries to play it in the centre. Idris, Di Gregorio, Sharazan. Here's Di Gregorio on the left flank. Reverse ball to Idris rather. He tries to roulette around. Di Gregorio, Sharazan, Berryan, Di Gregorio. Berryan once again, looking for Idris at the top of the D. Little back row, but behind a dark blue shirt. And any score predictions you've got, leave them in the comments. It was great to see the futsal community getting around the action last game. It was an exciting contest. Had everything. Twist of the tails, red cards, fouls, goals. What more can you ask for? And hopefully this game has something similar in store. As Bissan with the save down low. Quick release over the top. Barrera, Resende. He lofts it forward. Di Gregorio heads clear. Picked up by Sharazan. Massimo Kwiatkowski on now for Longobarda. Kwiatkowski, State Futsal League referee, has had a good stint refereeing the Gatorade Winter League this season. And is also a very handy young up-and-coming player, as Bunyad Mohammadi just giving that one away a little bit cheaply. It's good to see Bunyad Mohammadi back in the side after being dropped last week against the West Coast Cobras. The FutScarbs linking up nicely. Andesson, 2-0. Kennet Andesson with a bit of individual brilliance. And it goes from bad to worse for Perth Longobarda as the subs roll on for FutScarbs. It's Oyima, it's Mateus Carvalho, Halil Neto and Wagner Araujo all on for the FutScarbs. 4 on, 4 off. Berryan, Kwiatkowski brings it inside. Bunyad Mohammadi down the line to Kwiatkowski. Inside, Idris. Kwiatkowski. Berryan. And now a 3-on-1. Araujo! Well saved by Raheem. Ayima across the face of goal. Ball still alive. Longobarda got to be careful. Kwiatkowski runs out of room. And a volley coming in there from Mateus Carvalho. Blocked by the Longobarda defense. It gives it to Neto up the line. And that one just going past the back post. As we see Morteza Deuced back on for Longobarda. Kwiatkowski. Idris. Former Perth Puma Murad Idris. Former Scarborough Shark Bunyad Mohammadi. And Idris fires off the right. Bissan gets down low. Neto. Ball down the line. Araujo. Lovely turn. Bunyad Mohammadi coming in with a slide. Idris with the interception. Longo 3-2 from GK Midi. Zephyr McPherson predicting 6-0 to FutScarbs. I mean, at this rate, I'm leaning toward your prediction, Zephyr. And hopefully it's only a matter of time before we see you in the top flight of the Supa-Liga with the Wolves. We've been keeping a close eye on your great performances in the Supa-Liga C. Player of the match, or player of the round, I think, twice from 3 matches. So good to see. Zephyr McPherson's score of 2 goals last week against Cambio Cumbre, and their shock 4-all draw. Not many were expecting that coming into the match. GK Midi also had a stellar performance at that game as well. Idris finds Kwiatkowski at the top of the D. Idris, was he fouled? Not quite. Idris's ball inside, picked up by Neto. Neto with the back heel to Oyima. Oyima looking for the return to Neto. And Oyima. Araujo. Back to Oyima. Aaron Diabru on for his first minutes in the Supa-Liga. And as a Longobarda player, Diabru, a long-time servant of now non-existent club Murdoch Warriors. Oh, what a goal! Halil Neto finding the top corner, out of nothing. Raheem rooted to the spot, would have had more of a chance of getting a hand on the sun. And this is the perfect start for FutScarbs. The absolute worst start Longobarda could have hoped for inside the opening 10 minutes. And they've got it all to do. It's not that they've even been playing bad, it's just the finishing from the FutScarbs has been superb. Is that for McPherson? Your prediction is looking all the more likely. Diapro going in on Oyema, but helps him up, does the sportsman-like thing. I appreciate the love. A comment from a username that I don't know how to pronounce. Wow, Goodlich on the commentary again. My day is made. Trying to appreciate it because I'm actually going to Italy on Sunday, so I'll be away for a couple of weeks and I won't be able to commentate, unfortunately, but trying to make the most of it while I'm here. I always enjoy bringing you the action, and it's even better when the games are as good as they have been tonight. Diapro slows the play down. Di Gregorio down the line to Morteza Deuced. Diapro, in fact, Aaron Apro rather. I'm thinking of Brandon Diapro from Coburn Wolves, my bad. As Di Gregorio looks to split the defense, but can't quite do so. Apro. Di Gregorio. Hezori Sharazan across to Di Gregorio. Tries to work one to the back post, but into the grateful arms of Bruno Bissan. Oyema. Across to Oyema now. Cavallo flicks it on for Araujo. Back to Cavallo. Can't get beyond the Longobarda defender. Doused. Sharazan still going. Back out to Doused. Apro. He can't skip the challenge from Oyema. Di Gregorio. Sharazan. Morteza Deuce loses out. Goes at him with some muscle, but a little bit too much of a shove, and the foul going the way of FutScarbs. As a couple of substitutions made for Longobarda. It is the number 2 coming on now. Harris Karusanam. Yeah, used to play at South Perth in the youth and draft. Quite a decent player. Played against him coached against him a couple of times last season, and also it looks to be, I think, the number 9 Angelo DeMarco back on. Sharazan, Di Gregorio out wide. Cavallo, Neto, ball forward looking for Duna. Lovely turn, Duna still going. And he was brought down on the edge of the area. That should be a card. And it is Angelo DeMarco with the caution. And a chance for the FutScarbs to extend their lead. It's Halil Neto lining this one up. He's got a rocket of a toe poke on him. Can he make it count? He does! Didn't need to go with the toe poke. Went for the side foot, found the gap. It's Halil Neto's second of the game. And FutScarbs are out to a shock 4-goal lead. I didn't predict this one, I've got to say. You are right, no Basolu, no Ramlee. It might be too late for them, 9:30 on a Friday night, but their team is suffering without them, to say the least. Shaz Ramlee, the charismatic leader of the Longobarda side, Basolu, probably single-handedly won them and got them over the line in the 2 games. They did pick up points. scored a couple of excellent goals in there. Round 2, 7-4 victory over the Perth Pumas, but hasn't quite hit that peak form since. Sharazan, Di Gregorio, Longobarda going at it with the fly keeper, but that's given away, and Ferreira is going to make it 5. Can you believe it? Longobarda 5-0 down inside at the opening 13 minutes. And they're going to have to be more efficient with the 5th man if they are to make it count. Di Gregorio dictating play from the back. Sharazan looks for the reverse ball. Still going Sharazan. Out to Kwiatkowski. Di Gregorio. Berryan. In the corner. Sharazan. Cross the face to goal. DeMarco trying to turn. And the net's open if Cavallo can find it. Kwiatkowski mops up the danger. Di Gregorio assessing his options. Forward ball. Looking for Sharazan. But the number 6 stretches and can't quite get there. Duna. Ferreira. Resende in the center. Duna. Out wide, Resende. Duna. Ferreira just about keeps it in. In fact, no, he doesn't. Idris back on. Berryan, the fly keeper, back on. Di Gregorio. Sharazan. Back to Di Gregorio. Kwiatkowski. Longobarda getting a bit more fluent possession. Can they pull one back before half-time? Di Gregorio cracks it off the right. Sharazan. Berryan. Mistouches. And that's given away. Oyema. Empty net. Di Gregorio is going to go in. He did his utmost to try keep it out, but the deflection not being strong enough. Change the direction of the ball, and 6-0 to the FutScarbs. It's Kayo Oyema's first of the match. Di Gregorio, Berryan, Kwiatkowski, Di Gregorio, Berryan. They've got to work the ball forward, Longobarda, and it might be another. Di Gregorio with a last-ditch challenge. Referee says he got the ball. Kwiatkowski, Idris. Down the line, lovely ball. Berryan. A chance for the FutScarbs to find the empty net, and they have. It's 7-0. It's the number 19, Julio Figueiredo, back from his season-long suspension and on the score sheet once again. And a timeout for Longobarda. Probably should have happened a couple goals earlier. An absolute blowout. I did not expect this one, I must say. It's just not been Longobarda's day. Ramlee and Basolu are being sorely missed. And the FutScarbs, everything they touch is turning to gold. Shot after shot after shot. Finding the back of the net. And you can't even fault Raheem for a lot of the goals. I've just found the top corner. Oh, once Longobarda have gone 5th man, they found the empty net. A new score prediction, 12-0. Well, you might be on the money there if it keeps going at this rate. Very well could be a blowout if it isn't already. Longobarda just have to try and calm themselves down, keep the scoreline respectable. They are a good side. They've caused the likes of Alliance trouble. Alliance only lost 3-2 to Cambio Cumbre today. They drew with SFL champions Balga last season. They stole a point from Cumbre last season after coming from 3 goals down. They are a quality side, but it just hasn't been their day. Costly errors in front of goal, and you have to give to the FutScarbs. They are playing well. They've called the timeout, a chance to compose themselves, a chance to put a foot right. It's Murad Idris to get us restarted. Bunyad Mohammadi. Kwiatkowski. Back to Mohammadi. So Kwiatkowski has taken the fixer off for Longobarda. A big job on his shoulders, but he's doing well so far. Karul Azam, and just giving away that. Needed to keep the ball on the deck. As Raheem checks back on for Berrien. Bisan goes long. Kwiatkowski gets in front. And Karul Azam just clearing that one high. Carvalho. Araujo. Resende. And tries to play that one around the corner. Bunyad Mohammadi getting it back. Kwiatkowski. They want to get the fifth man on. This time it will be Hezuri Sharazan. Kwiatkowski does well. The young brigade for Longobarda. Keeping the ball nicely. Karul Azam. Bunyad Mohammadi. Down the line. Idris. Back out to Kwiatkowski. First time ball. He's done an excellent job out fixer. Kwiatkowski hasn't given the ball away once. Idris lets it run. In the center. Karul Azam. Sharazan. Back out. Kwiatkowski has to reach to get there. Mohammadi down the line. Idris. Kwiatkowski in the corner. Sharazan back out. Kwiatkowski. Sharazan with the toe poke. And that one can't find the target. Sharazan off quickly. Raheem straight back on. Down the line to Anderson. Araujo. Carvalho. Resende. Lovely step over, and he's found Anderson. Anderson with a chance to make it 8-0, just didn't pull the trigger. Carvalho. Resende. In the corner, across the face. Anderson brings it down. Araujo. Save at the near post by Raheem. And it's better from Longobarda since they've called the timeout. They've looked a lot more composed, a lot more secure defensively, and they haven't conceded. You wonder whether that timeout should have been called earlier, but before the scoreline got so out of hand. Resende flicked over the top. Mohammadi has it down. Carvalho bursts through, and that'll be 8. Mateus Carvalho rounding the keeper and adding salt to the wound. Salutes the camera. And wow, what a result this is. Imagine if someone said before the game, I want to place a bet on Longobarda being 8-0 down at halftime. The odds would be extremely high, to say the least. It has really just fallen the way of the FutScarbs today. Everything they've touched has turned to gold, and they've only won 2 out of their 5 games, picked up a couple of draws, but you can see the momentum's been building, and it's all come through for them today. Longobarda have actually been quite good in most encounters. I think it's just the fact that they're missing a couple of their key players, and these younger, inexperienced players aren't quite coping with the seniority of the FutScarbs too well. So they might get another chance. Araujo, that's 9. But again, you've got to give credit where credit's due. That is by no means an easy finish. Regardless of the scoreline and the context of the game, Araujo to finish from that angle into the corner. It's almost like they've got sliders on FIFA. Karul Azam. Resende on the break once again. Figueiredo, can he get his second? And Araujo just firing over the bar. Taufik Frank, who I can see is watching the stream, another one of their players who's been missing, and Frank with an excellent start of the season, scoring some important goals. He's being sorely missed this evening also. Apro. Das made the run to the back post. Karul Nizam. Apro. And Kennet Andesson on the counter attack again. Slips it inside. Figueiredo. Andesson. And it looks like they've got a corner. Mohamed Shahrazan in net. The young keeper getting his debut in the men's top flight, which is great to see. It's games like this where the scoreline isn't worth trying to recover, that you can try and blood your youth, give them experience, and really prepare that next generation. Because I tell you what, there's a lot of talent coming through at Longobarda. Massimo Basolu had a great back end of the SFL season last time around. Shahrazan, one of the up-and-coming keepers in the competition, and I like the look of Harris Karul Nizam as well. Obviously transferred over from South Perth in the off-season. And it looks like, I'm not sure. 5 fouls. So, 5 fouls, but not really going to matter. Only 4 seconds left in the first half. A corner for Longobarda. Can they get one back before halftime? Apro trying to make it count. That's the halftime whistle. FutScarbs 9, Longobarda 0. And look, I think if Longobarda are to get themselves back in the game, they've got to really watch out for the FutScarbs counter-attack. It's when they're dangerous. They've got players that are so quick on the break, like Rosende, like Kennet Andesson. They're waiting for them to make the mistake high up the field and attack the space in behind. Longobarda, by no means a bad side, by no means a pushover. They've got the talent to get themselves, I wouldn't say back in the match, but they've got the talent to keep the scoreline around where it is in the second half. The likes of Di Gregorio, Shahrazan, Berian, very good players. I think they've also got to up the intensity, up the physicality. If a FutScarbs player is running through and goal, just take him out, give away the foul. It's better than them shooting at the rate they have been, pretty much putting every chance away. They've got a big squad. They've got to keep the subs rolling quickly. They're always going to have fresh legs on the bench, but it really hasn't gone their way this evening so far. FutScarbs is really just much of the same. If something's working, no need to change it. It's probably the best I've ever seen them play in the 3 or 4 years that they've been a part of the competition. The finishing has been clinical. The counter-attacking has been absolutely phenomenal. Bisan has remained alert when he's needed to be, and it's not easy in a game you're winning so heavily to keep your focus and make sure that when the opposition do shoot, you are aware. So you've got to give credit where it's due. And now you can see Longobarda coming up with a bit more intent. Di Gregorio fires off the right. And that one into the court dividing net. Derek Howard, Longobarda should have called a timeout after going 2 or 3-0 down to find a voice in the second half. And I completely agree with you. Before the scoreline got out of hand, the FutScarbs momentum needed to try and be stopped. They just let it get out of hand, and I don't think it was until they went down 7-0 that the coach called a timeout, which was really detrimental to them. As we see a keeper swap for FutScarbs, it looks like it is the number 1, Lucas De Souza, who's in between the sticks. I haven't seen too much of him, but the one game I did watch him play, you'll see he's got an excellent distribution technique, and he's a real futsal keeper. You can see he's played this game for a long time. Rumour has it is fresh off the plane after relocating to Western Australia from South America. So a big coup for the FutScarbs, getting themselves an international import, but that's what the South American connection brings. Obviously, FutScarbs being a Brazilian club, attracting a wide proportion of the South American community. As Andesson, great save from Shahrazan to deny the 10th. And now here's Oyema, the shot's blocked. And now the other Shahrazan's on the break. He's stopped by the larger frame of Hilil Neto. Di Gregorio. 15-0 is on the cards. Well, look, if you had said that at the start of the match, I would have called you crazy. But the way it's going, they scored 9 in the first half. Maybe here's a chance up the other end for Di Gregorio. Around the corner, gives it away. Carvalho, can he make it 10? Just gets his shot awfully wrong. And Sharazan will restart. It's Berrien. Sharazan. Di Gregorio. DeMarco. Longobarda haven't stopped fighting. You've got to give them credit. The intent is there. The belief is there. They want to pull a couple back, at least make the scoreline respectable. By no means have they given up and have they allowed themselves to become a walkover. As we say that, the ball getting through to Oyima's run, but tipped around the post very well by Sharazan, who didn't have long at all to react. And Neto, another save by the young keeper. And a corner again. Neto and Carvalho can't direct his shot goal bound. Sharazan to Idris. Idris to Deuced and trying to find the runner Berrien. Neto. Ferreira down the line. Good ball finding Carvalho rather. Ferreira! But a great save by Sharazan, who's refusing to be beaten. Oyima breaking forward. Longobarda get the toe in. And Neto with the toe poke. Sharazan. Di Gregorio to Berrien. Idris. Di Gregorio looking for the one-on-one. Longobarda really want their goal. FutScarbs up the other end. Carvalho! Rounds the keeper, but can't put it into the empty net. So Longobarda have kept FutScarbs scoreless for the first 5 minutes of the second half. Di Gregorio, Bunyad Mohammadi on now. Deuced. Mohammadi brings it forward, down the line. Idris, he's had a good start to the season. Can he work his magic again today? Di Gregorio, Idris, inside. And looking for the return there was Mortez Ali Deuced, but not to be. The long ball over the top. Someone didn't follow. As Oyima tries to chip the keeper. Kwiatkowski. He's had a good game so far, Massimo Kwiatkowski. One of the shining lights in a dark day for Perth Longobarda. Deuced, Mohammadi. It's better ball movement from the Italians. And the return ball finds Mohammadi. Still going Mohammadi. Fires off the shot, but D'Souza comfortable in the end. Releases Oyima. Oyima across to Ferreira. And down the line for Neto. Ferreira. Oyima. Neto.
Yes, Massi, yes.
Carvalho looks to cut inside. Mohammadi plays it to Kwiatkowski. Tries to cut inside. And Massimo Kwiatkowski has done well to draw the foul. Kwiatkowski has worked his way all the way up through the junior ranks at Longobarda and has found himself in the senior side over the past couple of seasons. Debuted at the back end of the 2021-22 SFL season. Was a regular last time out and has been so far this season as Kwiatkowski cracks it off the right. Oyima. Lovely feet. Plays it across to Araujo, who skips a challenge from Doust. Ferreira. Oyima. Out to Ferreira. Across to Oyima, given away cheaply. Mohammadi. One back by Oyima. Now here's Araujo. Ferreira. Neto. Forward ball. Araujo. I don't think that was a foul. I think he just tripped over the ball, but nevertheless it's been given. And FutScarbs have a free kick on the left side of the court, just outside the D. A chance for them to work Mohamed Shahrazad. The last free kick they had, Neto scored. He's not on the court at the moment. But Resende is waiting in the centre. Araujo looked for the back post in Borrera, who didn't react in time. Kwiatkowski tries to play it to DeMarco. Flicked over the top. Kwiatkowski heads clear. Khairul-Nizam. Kwiatkowski cuts inside. Still going. Mohamedi. Out to the Longobarda number 2. Mohamedi. Nice touch. Fakes onto the right. It gives it to Abru. Kwiatkowski. It's good ball retention from Longobarda. But that one's given away. Resende has Duna. Still going Resende. And Duna will finish into the empty net. And FutScarbs have hit double digits. It's Andre Duna. But you got to say they've held up better this second half. It has taken them 8 minutes to break the second half deadlock. And as we say that, the talisman Di Gregorio and the experienced Yusuf Berian back on the field. Khairul-Nizam. Berian. Toe pokes off the right. Blocked by Araujo. And now the corner for Perth Longobarda. Berian lace it off. Di Gregorio. That one looked goal bound if it wasn't blocked. Anderson is first to the ball. Duna toes it on. Araujo out to Resende. And now here's Kennet Andesson. Resende. Duna tries to get beyond Khairul-Nizam. He had Abru at the back post, but Resende intercepted. Now a chance. Khairul-Nizam saved at the near post by D'Souza. First real time he's been caught into action. And the volley coming in from Berian. Blocked by the FutScarbs defense. Anderson. And another chance. Shahrazad clears. Just over 10 minutes to go. Resende. Anderson skips beyond Berian, but the ball was deemed to have gone out. And FutScarbs will get back the side ball. Yes, Sean McBride, all the men's Supa-Liga games in the top division are live. So the B and C are not live streamed. They are recorded on a VEO. But yeah, all the top flight games are live with commentary every weekend. As we see Di Gregorio look to find the back post with a toe poke. Resende. And I think it was a handball. A push. So the foul going the way of the FutScarbs. Kennet Andesson on the ball at the back. Araujo, just a rare loose pass from Kennet Andesson. He's had a great game today. And Di Gregorio putting that one into the mixer. D'Souza, Resende. Here's Anderson inside. Araujo looking for the return. Di Gregorio gets a toe in. Double team now. And Longobarda win it back. Shahrazad. Berian brings it forward. Di Gregorio tries to roll onto the right. But now FutScarbs break away. Araujo, couple of step overs. Abru defends well, but it was the judge that he pushed Araujo in the back. So a free kick from the right-hand side of the court for FutScarbs. Similar position to the one they had on the left moments earlier. And we see the keeper, Lira D'Souza rather, at the halfway line. Is he coming up for it? Not quite. It's a chip. And that one was not far away. Shahrazad was high up his line. Araujo tried to do something audacious and very nearly paying off. Shahrazad. Only conceded 1 goal in the second half. Longobarda playing a lot better. DeMarco inside. And that one very nearly. Wrong footing. De Souza, who did well to react. Andesson tries to flick it down the line to Araujo. And it looks like it's going to be Angelo DeMarco to kick it in. Di Gregorio finds Idris in the centre. Flicked on. DeMarco. Here's a chance. Still alive. But well saved by De Souza. And they don't even get a corner, Longobarda. Last touch was off DeMarco. Quick release from De Souza. Neto's kept it in. Still going Neto. Squares it. Carvalho. Touch too heavy. Sharazan picks it up. Di Gregorio out wide. Idris breaks the way forward. Forced back. And Di Gregorio a mishit ball. So Zephyr, your prediction might be right on the money. 12-0. They've got 7 minutes to score 2 goals for FutScarbs. Carvalho. Neto. Blocked by Sharazan. Carvalho slips over the ball. Manages to flick it on while he's on the ground. Neto. Out wide to Resende. Ferreira skips past one. Skips past the other. Still going. But can't finish. However, last touch was off Hezuri Sharazan. And FutScarbs will have a corner. And what you've got to give Longobarda credit for is, despite the scoreline, they are playing with intensity. They are working hard. It's making the game entertaining to watch and commentate. Still full of intensity, full of chances. It's really one side has put every opportunity away and the other has had no luck in front of goal. You know, not to take credit away from FutScarbs, I have been the better side, but I've seen 10-0 score lines that have looked much worse than that. I mean, you think back to the days of SFO and the likes of Byford Venom and Canning Ultra Tigers were struggling. They'd go down by 10 goals, but it would almost be like a social league contest toward the end of it. The game is still, you know, full of intensity. Longobarda are defending gallantly, and it's what you want to see. They've held their heads high and are doing their best to keep themselves in the game. And this man, Mohamed Sharazan, has done really well since coming on in the second half. He's only conceded once, and as a debut as a young keeper in the top flight, you've got to give him credit. I believe he's the younger brother of Hezuri Sharazan, who's come to the bench now, and he's definitely one to look out for going forward. A former Coburn Wolves junior who made the transfer over to Longobarda quite recently. Carvalho, Neto. Neto flicks it forward. And he will get the sideline ball with just under 5 minutes to go. So it's been a much tighter second half. Only one goal to separate the two sides in the second half. Safe to say the damage was done, but you know, respect to Longobarda for holding their heads high, as we were touching on moments earlier. The question is, can they ruin FutScarbs' clean sheet? Can they get themselves on the board? Deuced breaks the way forward. Maybe here's a chance. But De Souza off his line well. And Deuced fires into Ferreira, who plays back to De Souza. A rushed clearance and a side ball going the way of Longobarda. And some big matchups tomorrow. We start off with, I'll just check who, but the game of the round tomorrow, a grand final rematch between the West Coast Cobras and the Northern Hawks. That's definitely one you want to miss. That's the second match of the evening at 7:40. The Phoenix Butsu WA are taking on Perth AFC at 8:40, and the Perth Pumas are taking on the Andinos in the relegation battle at 6:40. And in the women's, it's the game of the round between the Northern Hawks and the West Coast Cobras as well. So both Northern Hawks sides are playing the West Coast Cobras. There's some very entertaining matchups. Unfortunately, I won't be able to join you on commentary as we've got a big semi-final of the Gatorade Winter League, which unfortunately clashes, but I will be coaching the Cobras game against the Northern Hawks, and that is probably going to be the league decider. Hawks haven't dropped points. Cobras have dropped points once this season in a draw to Scarborough Sharks, but still remain unbeaten. So if the Hawks win, they're going to be 4 points clear at the top. If the Cobras do win, they will overtake the Northern Hawks and assert themselves at the top of the table. So definitely going to be an exciting contest. Berryan brings it in with Mohammadi on the cusp of stop clock territory. Doused. Berryan. Back to Doused. Kwiatkowski. He hasn't put a foot wrong this evening. Ball down the line. Doused just about keeps it in. It's falling out to Kwiatkowski. And on the turn there, Berryan can't convert. It was well blocked by Kayo Uyema. In the centre. One back by Carvalho. Uyema tries to keep it in. Carvalho. Ferreira. Down the line. Neto. Kayo Uyema. Ferreira. FutScarbs just hanging on to possession nicely. Neto. Working it well. Uyema was here fouled. Referee says no. In fact, it was a late call. Daniel Famato, in response to your question, what's stopping Longobarda playing fifth man? They went fifth man early in the first half, but conceded 3 goals right off the bat. And I think they've realised it just hasn't been their day. The fly keeper wasn't working, and in fact, it was doing more damage than good. So they've opted to change up the defensive structure the second half, and it's worked a lot better. They've really kept the FutScarbs at bay. The solitary goal from Andre Duna in this second half being all that separates the two sides, and Longobarda have also been better going forward. Kwiatkowski cuts beyond Carvalho but loses out for strength. Lace it off to Ferreira. Back to Carvalho, and that'll be 11. It's come late, but it's come in the end. And it was a great finish from Mateus Carvalho, who set up the goal with the back heel to Leonardo Ferreira after winning the ball up high. And that will probably be the last blow Longobarda will have to take. Abru, Mohammadi, Karol Azam. Berryan looks centre. Andesson wants another. Still going, Kennet Andesson! Lace it off. But well defended there by Berryan, who got back quickly. Ferreira. Andesson cuts inside. Still going, Andesson. Oh, what a goal that is. Kennet Andesson is just a class above the rest. Salutes the camera. All smiles on the FutScarbs bench, and that really could be goal of the week. Didn't just sit down one, sat down a second, and finished into the roof with the net beyond Sharazan. So 12-0 now. Zephyr McPherson, will your prediction stand? Ferreira. Andesson. Can he snag another? De Gregorio gets the toe in. And a loose ball from Neto. Karol Azam. Mohammadi. Karol Azam. Bunyad Mohammadi. Abru. Misplaced ball. And off the chest to Mohammadi. D'Souza. Araujo. Cuts beyond Mohammadi. To the feet of Ferreira. And the back heel. Finding Andesson to make it 13. Araujo will finish. Sharazan made the initial save, but it rebounded straight to the feet of Araujo. And it's 13-0 here at Subiaco. Longobarda, or FutScarbs rather, conceding 3 within stop clock territory. And it really just hasn't been their evening. They'll have to go back to the drawing board and train hard midweek to come back strong for the game next week. It's going to be all smiles for FutScarbs, whose goal difference is going to be looking rather healthy. I think they'll just be on the edge of a final spot. Andesson, Neto, just playing it to D'Souza, who will hold it as the final whistle goes. The FutScarbs with one of the victories of the season over Perth Longobarda, 13-0. My name's John Goodlich. Thank you for joining me throughout all the action this evening. We'll be back from tomorrow night with 4 more exciting matchups. Make sure you tune in.